can't breathe. I 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 can't breathe.
Evidence in the law and decide if that evidence supported the filing of any criminal charges against Darren Wilson.
At a protest in Minneapolis and at a die-in on the campus of Clemson University.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Time for remorse would have been when my husband was yelling to breathe. That would have been the time for him to show some type of remorse. Somebody had to live through what I had to live through. Damn, but y'all want to come with y'all on fucked up ass comments.
We are confused when white people shoot us in the streets. We love you. We have worshiped the white man from day one. We grovel at his feet. We kiss his toes. Our women take care of his babies and raise them up to the point of excellency. So when they shoot us in the street, we're like, ooh, I don't get it. But why? So we march and we protest. We put our hands in the air. We lay on the ground screaming, I can't breathe. Are you kidding me? Today, we're going to deal with a lesson entitled Protests and Ego Tripping. We're going to deal with strategies of the police today. We're going to deal with tactics. We're going to deal with weak-minded brothers chasing women living under their skirts. That might be 3/4 of you up in here and online. Don't worry, we ain't going to cry if you leave. As a matter of fact, this class is designed for the weak among us to leave. I'm going to say it again. We need a purge. We got too many wicked brothers among us secretly hiding. This class is designed to purge them.
I already see you got started.
Yeah.
I see you done got started already.
Protests and ego tripping. I want to open up with Proverbs chapter 1, verse 11. This is for the, I'm going to start off with the, understand. The way the system is designed, because it always comes up, why do blacks and Latinos steal? Let me explain something to you. This system is designed to keep us in an impoverished state. Some brothers come up out of it and struggle. Some do not. So they resort to drug sales and or stealing. But this system is designed that way. Give me Proverbs 1 and 11, Captain Isaac.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood.
Now, we're going to open up with Proverbs 1 because of the way the system is set up. We have amongst Israel, I'll talk about our people, blacks and Latinos. Welcome back, Barack. I'm glad you're okay. We have our people who do get caught up in the drug game, who get caught up in the thief game. So this is where we're beginning here, Proverbs 1:11. Come on.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit.
Listen good.
We shall find all precious substance.
They're looking for precious substance. Come on.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
Come on.
Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse.
Cast in your lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Go ahead.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
So the Most High instructs us, especially young men, do not walk in the way with them. Read.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
Refrain your foot from their path. Because that's how gang initiations are conducted. Many of our young men have no real family structure, so where do they get their learning and education from? The streets. So you have local hoods on the corners saying what? Read that verse again, Captain.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path.
Go ahead.
For their feet run to evil.
Their feet run to evil.
And make haste to shed blood.
And their feet run to shed blood. That's where a lot of murders are conducted. Give me Micah 2 and 8. Micah chapter 2, verse 8. Write these down, brothers. Write these down. I'm preempting the class with this because I don't want any of you to be under the illusion that our people are holy and don't do anything wicked. We do wicked stuff. But like I said, this system is designed for that. But even that's no excuse because we're in this captivity because of what, brothers? Our sins, our sins. Always remember that. Micah 2:8.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 8. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy.
Listen up. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy. What do they do? Come on.
He pull off the robe with the garment.
They pull off the robe with the garment.
From them that pass by.
From them that pass by. So what is it talking about? Robbery. People getting robbed on the street. Read it again, the whole verse.
Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men averse from war.
Like men adverse from war. Was that it?
Yes, sir.
Now, first article I want to go to. Get me the New York Times article. I believe this is it. Is this it? Yes. Murders in the United States cities reach record lows again. Now, we're going to look at some stats regarding the record lows. I just want to get to the point. I'm going to read the first verse. The number of homicides in the United States' biggest cities hit record lows again in 2013, as the murder rate nationally continued to drop to levels not seen since the 1960s. So let's see what a murder rate has dropped. Let me jump. Okay, according to year-end data released by police departments around the country, Chicago still leads the country in homicides with 415. Listen, look at that number. 415 homicides, but that number declined 18% from 2012 and is the fewest since 1965. Okay, jump down, go down. Okay, look at New York. New York had 333 murders in 2013, less than one a day. So 333 murders. 300. Chicago, 415. New York, 333. Now, I want to leave from there. Wait. No, look at that. Look at the next paragraph. Los Angeles, it says 255. Philadelphia, 246. Baltimore, 234. Washington, D.C. experienced 104 homicides in 2013. So the numbers I'm giving you increased. Okay. The numbers I'm giving you is last year's stats. Last year's. So do we all see that it's in the hundreds, correct? All right. Let's get out of that. X that out. You as Israelites don't sleep. I want y'all to be right on point with these things. Give me the next article right here. Now we're going to look at the stats. Unarmed people of color killed by police from 1999 to 2014. On Wednesday, after the announcement that NYPD officer Daniel Pent, whatever, would not be indicted for killing Eric Gardner, the NAACP's Legal Defense Fund Twitter posted a series of tweets, listen good, naming 76 men and women who were killed in police custody since 1999 death of Amadou Diallo in New York, starting with the most recent death. So, from 2014 to 1999, how many deaths by police officers? 76. I want you to think. 76. We mad. Our people protest. 76 murders from 1999 to 2014. How many people was murdered in New York last year alone? 333. I want you to listen, look at the numbers. Okay, let's look. So they're going to start and go backwards. You got Romaine Brisbane. Go ahead. Try and go through them. Let me see the name. Tamir Rice. Go ahead. Akai Gurley. Kajim Powell. Ezell Ford. Dante Parker. Now, when y'all get home, y'all can read the what happened to them on your own. Michael Brown. John Crawford III. Tyree Woodson, Eric Gardner, Victor White III, Yvette Smith, Mackenzie Cochran, Jordan Baker, Andy Lopez, Miriam Carey, Jonathan Farrell, Carlos Alquist, Larry Eugene Jackson Jr., Dion Flood, Kimani Gray, Melissa Williams, and Timothy Russell, Ronaldo Cuevas, Travis Carter, Chantel Davis, Charmel Edwards, Timon Robinson, Irvin Jefferson, Kendrick McDade, Rakia Boyd, Sharice Francis, Wendell Allen, Nehemiah Dillard, Dante Price, Raymond Allen, Sergeant Manuel Loggins Jr., Ramarley Graham, Kenneth Chamberlain, Alonzo Ashley, Kenneth Harding, Raheem Brown, Reginald Doucette, Derek Jones, Danroy Henry, Ayanna Jones, Stephen Eugene Washington, Aaron Campbell, Kiwan Carrington, Victor Steen, Shem Walker, Oscar Grant, Tarika Wilson, Deontay Terrell Farrell, Sean Bell, Henry Glover, Ronald Madison, James Brissett, Timothy Stansberry, Alberta Spruill, Usman Zongo, Orlando Barlow, Timothy Thomas, Prince Jones, Ronald Beasley and Earl Murray, Patrick Dorisman, Malcolm Ferguson, Amadou Diallo. And that was it. 76 people killed at the hands of police between 1999 and 2014. 313 homicides in New York alone, 415 in Chicago alone, 213 in Los Angeles, 123 in Philly. I don't know about y'all, but something just seems very odd because at least 90% around that area, a lot of the other crimes, like in the cities, is black on black. But nobody protests about that. How come nobody protests black on black crime, which is the vast majority of the recorded homicides? Our people are desensitized by it. Desensitized because it's become the norm. Black guy, black guy, Spanish killing, nobody cares about that. But the numbers are astronomical. So why do blacks and Latinos protest and march at such low numbers as 76? Now, before we deal with the answer, I want to look at another clip. Give me Eric Dyson. Now, Eric Dyson is a professor. Very well educated, very articulate brother when he speaks. I want to get to the point, I didn't write it down in my notes, so we're going to start from the beginning, where he gives the percentage of blacks killing blacks. Go ahead.
Black people have been marching from time immemorial against the vicious legacy of white supremacy that occupies black minds, that leads us to kill each other, to hate each other, to despise the very presence that we represent. So we know about black on black crime as a reflection of a broader pathology, and both of them must be arrested. But the reality is politicians don't show up from the White House down to the local level when black children's bodies are at stake. And when they do show up, they give us lectures about black family structure when we can look at most white people who commit crimes and they have obviously familial challenges that need to be articulated. And black on black crime, true, 94% of black people who are murdered by black people, but
94% of those homicides are black on black. I wanted him to say it. The reason I wanted y'all to hear him say it, because last week, or a couple of weeks ago, he got into a debate with Rudy Giuliani. How many of y'all saw that? Okay, let's take a look. He gets into a debate with Rudy Giuliani. Listen to what Giuliani says. What he says is what I want y'all to listen to.
Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani took some heat yesterday on the internet with this exchange with Georgetown professor Michael Eric Dyson on Meet the Press.
I find it very disappointing that you're not discussing the fact that 93% of blacks in America are killed by other blacks. We're talking about the exception here.
First of all, most black people who commit crimes against other black people go to jail. Number two, they are not sworn by the police department as a agent of the state to uphold the law. So in both cases, that's a false equivalency that the mayor has drawn, which has exacerbated tensions that are deeply embedded in American culture.
How about 70 to 75% of the crime in my city
How about your
takes
attitude
place
reinforces
in black
the
cities?
problematic
All right, I think this is a debate.
that prevails in the culture. So
This is a debate.
You reduce crime.
This is a debate.
When I become mayor, I'll do that.
Wait,
the
let's
white
not make
police
this.
officers won't be there if you weren't killing each
Look
other.
at this.
Hang on.
This is the
70
defensive
to
mechanism of
75%
white
of the
supremacy
time.
at work in your mind.
Wow. Did you catch that?
Now, who caught what was said? I know it's gibberish. I know I was going back and forth. And nobody caught what he said, what was said? Let me see. Let me hear you, Levi. What'd you hear? What'd you hear?
Said the police wouldn't be in your community if blacks weren't killing black people.
Did y'all hear what he said?
25%.
Now, he said, that one line alone, he said, why don't you reduce crime then? That's always an issue. Like we did a video some time ago. When you look at Italian neighborhoods, East Indian neighborhoods, go ahead, you want to speak on it?
Yeah, what the elder's bringing up, we did a video. Actually, we was on the street. That's what you're talking about. The name of the video is called Fearful, what is it? Something with black men. Black men, weak, scared, crazy, something like that. That was the video. And the question was asked, why is it that we don't police ourselves? Because a lot of us, we don't take the responsibility of taking care of our own. That's the video that you're referring to. That's what he's talking about.
So in those neighborhoods, the Italians police themselves, so you don't have a lot of cops in there. East Indians police themselves. You don't got a lot of cops there. Blacks and Latinos, we will see a crime, and what do? Woo, stitches get, what is it? Snitches get stitches. I didn't see nothing. We're the only race that does that. Stupidity. What?
We'll put it on World Star.
Right. Get our cell phone. Oh, it's going on World Star. So you need white cops got to come in. We would love for the white cops not to be there if we could learn to police ourselves. We are too weak, feminized, and afraid to do it. So the white man, that's what Giuliani was tearing his behind up about. And the whole interview, when you look at the whole thing, he taught, as articulate as Eric Dyson is very articulate. He said a lot about black people that kill black people go to jail. No, not all of them do not go to jail. Right, because a lot of them people don't snitch. I'm telling you, they don't go to jail. Good, what are you going to say?
Now, as y'all heard the brother, very articulate brother. He put a lot out there. I was wondering if people were running to their dictionaries trying to keep up with him. But anyway, as I was listening, he was making a statement about profiling. He was basically saying that that the society has put us under a syndrome where we are programmed to hate ourselves. And he also spoke about us being the victims of racial profiling and the rest of the stigmas that govern our brain. And the profiling not only comes from them, meaning like the police and the what they call the majority society. Yes, they do racial profile, but we ourselves will profile each other. In other words, we don't see any value in our own. So the point that Eric was making was that this particular thinking is a result of being in that type of atmosphere where it causes us to have this self-negative imagery towards ourselves. So we're simply acting based on how we were brought up. That's basically what he's saying. So in other words, you cannot blame us. That's what he's saying. He wanted to put that out there as far as the reason the black-on-black crime thing that we suffer from. Don't blame us because we think this way because you put us in that kind of predicament. My whole point to that is, you know the problem. Where is the intelligence in ourselves when we say, okay, we understand this is how we were taught. When do we take the responsibility to say, okay, well, we're going to find it within ourselves, meaning in the Bible, to change it? Because I heard this guy say, his name was Harry Allen. He was this what they call this media assassin person for Public Enemy. I heard him stand up on a talk show and speak about the reason why black people don't go but so far. He said we normally ask, I'm staying with you, Elder. He says that we normally beg white people to do this for us, do that for us, police our neighborhoods, give us this, give us that. He said black people will do that all the way, but what we need to do, this is what he was saying, what we need to do is ask for what you can get, and whatever you don't get, compensate for the rest. He said that black people don't compensate for the rest. In other words, we'll just beg you to death, but wherever they come short at, we won't go beyond that and do nothing for ourselves. That's what we want to talk about here. We need to get to the point where you don't simply look at why we need police and all of this in our neighborhoods. When are we going to take the responsibility beyond what we're asking for and fix our own problems? Y'all all right?
Right. So, many of these murders, I'm dealing with the black and white one now. They went to the White House. They went to Obama. And Obama sent Eric Holder, the black attorney general, right? And nothing came of it. The room that Eric Dyson addressed was 99% black. And if you look at them, they look like the room of the Walking Dead. There's no power there, no influence, nothing. It's falling on deaf ears. Nothing gets done until we physically change it according to the Word of God. So here's my question. Why do blacks and Latinos protest against the 76 of our people that were killed between 1999 and 2014, opposed to the 330 killed in New York alone? Why do we protest that? Why do we protest, is that the word? Protest when white people kill us. Why? And never protest when blacks kill each other. Why? Only Mahalalil got an answer? Okay, Mahalalil, you're on. Why do we get angry? Why do we protest? What's wrong? Because they give us everything. Okay. Since the time of slavery, we've been seeking the white man's love. Give me that. Give me that Revelation 12:14, Isaac. Captain, give me that. Revelation 12:14.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 14.
Listen good. Listen. This is a parable, but I'm going to explain it to you.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great...
Write this down. The woman here in Revelation 12 is the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
That she might fly into the wilderness.
That she might fly into the wilderness. The wilderness here is Africa. That's when the 12 tribes, the bulk, which were Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Go ahead, Isaac.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
The wilderness is Africa.
Into her place.
The place here is America. Now here's the point.
Where she is
nourished for a time
and times
and time
and half a time.
That's 350 years. Let's see who nourished us.
From the face of the serpent.
So the serpent here is the devil. The serpent that nourishes us, is telling you, is the devil. That's the serpent. Who's nourishing us? Who gives us welfare? Who gives us jobs? Who gives us unemployment? Who gives us housing? Who?
The white man.
Yeah, they scared to say it, Kanadi. Look at that. It's the white man. He has taken care of us from day one. Now watch this. Give me Lamentations 5 and 6.
The book of Lamentation, chapter 5 and verse 6. We have given the hand to the Egyptian.
We have given a hand to the Egyptian, meaning our captors, our oppressors. We go to them for help. Go ahead.
And to the Assyrian.
And to the Assyrian. These are 2 major captivities. God is saying Israel always goes to the oppressors for help. Go ahead.
To be satisfied with bread.
See that? To be satisfied with bread. Now, here's another one. Get me Isaiah 30 and 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
We are the rebellious children, the Israelites. That's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
We never take counsel of God. What the Bible says, we could care less. That's what it means. Go ahead.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
We cover ourselves with religiosity, Baptists, Mormons, Pentecostals, Islam, Democrats, Republicans. We cover ourselves with that, but not with God's spirit. Read.
That they may add sin to sin.
And that's what we do, add sin to sin. Here it comes, watch this.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
This place is spiritually called Egypt. America is spiritually called Egypt. Go ahead.
And have not asked at my mouth.
We have not sought the word of God, the Bible. Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
We want to strengthen ourselves in the strength of Pharaoh, the president, the United States of America. Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
We trust in the shadow of Egypt. This is the shadow of Egypt because this is not the real Egypt. This is the shadow of Egypt. You may understand that? Watch the next verse. Here's the point.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
We are confused when white people shoot us in the streets. We love you. We love white people so much. Give me that scripture in Jeremiah 2 about hath a nation changed their gods. We have worshiped the white man from day one. We grovel at his feet. We kiss his toes. Our women take care of his babies and raise them up to the point of excellency. So when they shoot us in the street, we're like, I don't get it. But why? I'm confused. You found it, Isaac? Where we at? Jeremiah
2 verse 11.
Jeremiah 2 verse 11. Everybody get it.
Hath a nation changed their gods?
Has a nation changed their gods?
Which are yet no gods.
Which are yet no gods?
But my people have changed their glory.
But my people, you Israelites, we have changed the glory of the one true God
for that which doth not profit
the white man. We have gotten rid of the Most High God and we have worshiped the white man, the image of the beast, Caesar Borgias, the Renaissance Jesus Christ. So when he shoots us in the street, we are shocked. We are, what's the word? Give me the word. I don't know what I mean. Flabbergasted, okay, what he said. Amazed. What's that other word in Deuteronomy you use?
Astonishment.
Astonished. We're like, what the hell is going on here? So we march and we protest. We put our hands in the air. We lay on the ground screaming, I can't breathe. Are you kidding me?
You know, the way the elder lined that out was absolutely perfect, because he asked the question about why is it that we don't cry about when we shoot each other, but when they shoot us, we all going crazy. And it's because Jesus shot us. God shot us. That's what it is. That's the mentality. When one of us shoot each other, oh, you a nigga, so I expect that from you. So ain't no need of complaining about it. But we don't expect Jesus to shoot us. That's the point.
Next question. Give me the next Eric Garner's daughter. All I want is the first few minutes. I think he rolling in his grave with his daughter. I think Eric Garner's turning over in his grave with his daughter. This woman. If I drop dead, if my daughter says something stupid, I'm going to haunt her the rest of her life. I'm just joking.
And Brooke Ball went out there and they were saying that they were talking about the diversity in the crowd. It wasn't just black people, it wasn't just white people. It's not
because, sorry.
men or women. Go ahead.
Because this is not a black and white issue. This is a national crisis. Like, I believe that this is a crisis. I mean, for white people to come out and show how deeply they was hurt, and like Asians and, you know, different people from different nations in different parts of the world to come out and show that they felt the same way I felt on that video.
I can't watch no more. Stop. I'm going to vomit. I'm about to hurl a loogie somewhere. They look for the stupidest people to get on the news. This is the ignorance. That's what sisters, I'm not y'all. I ain't talking about the women up in here. They holy and righteous, not them. But these women, I can't take them. He's just saying something stupid.
I saw a woman worse than that. The one that was the witness in Trayvon Martin's case. I saw her on the stand. I sent the video to y'all recently because I couldn't believe it.
Right. So now she says it's not black and white because for white people to feel so hurt, let me tell you, let me ask you a question. Why do white people protest? Why do white people protest? Let's see who's thinking. Only Mahalalel got his hand up? Let me hear you. Young man in a black shirt.
Some of these white people, they are used as what I call a shield. They shield the racists. So when they protest, they say, not all white people are evil. You see, us, we are protesting with you. But what they are actually doing is that they are shielding these other people. You can get to them. To get to them, you have to go to these so-called good white people.
Okay.
It's a smokescreen. They do it to put Jake to sleep. Now, if we go out there and we bring out what the Bible says, that Esau's wicked, Esau's condemned, there's no redemption for him. But if they see that 2 to 3% of Edomites going, we're in the fight with you, then that's going to create that conflict in that mind. And they never resolve what the scriptures say.
Right, very good. Write this down, write this down. There's a how many of y'all got Netflix in here? Okay, there's a movie I want y'all to see. It's only an hour long. It's called Occupy Unmasked. It's about Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Unmasked. All you got to go to is 31 minutes. That's all you got to see, that minute, 31 minutes. They show all the white, they explain that all the whites that were protesting during Occupy Wall Street were white liberals who had trust funds. Wealthy. Then they interviewed the blacks who were there. They asked this one brother, they said, why are you protesting? He said, I don't know. The white woman said, she said, so why are you here? The black man, when y'all see this, you can see it, I wanted to show it, but we couldn't download it. He said they paid us $61 a day to join with white people to just stand out here, holy signs. $61. So they said, where's the $61? Wealthy liberal whites paid Jake, blacks and Latinos, $61 a day during Occupy Wall Street.
And they're standing at the front of the bank, waving people in. By the time the first group of people got up and ran in the bank, the students who were at the back of the line, they had no idea that they'd been waved in by the union. All they knew is everyone was going into the bank, so they all go into the bank too. So we're inside the bank, and I notice there's a guy dressed well, and he's texting. So I asked him, do you work for the bank? He goes, no, I work for United Auto Workers. So what was happening is the union's choreographing this whole thing, and they're obviously texting back and making sure it's going right. But who ends up getting arrested are the students.
They can only trick people for so long. They had used these college kids because they're the ones out there that are searching for something. And they're basically preying on the fact that the job system is horrible, the education system is horrible, and these kids are frustrated.
What's the PSLweb.org? What is that?
What's this?
Yeah.
Actually, no. Someone gave this to me, and I'm just repping it.
Oh, okay, cool.
For sure, yeah.
Thanks. So she doesn't know what sign she's holding.
They're pawns in their game. They're using people that are not aware that they're being used to go out there and to do their bidding.
Are you getting paid right now?
Yeah, we all getting paid for this. Yeah.
How much are you guys getting paid?
It's like $60 per head.
Are you serious? Yeah. How did they find you?
I mean, basically, we are all the people who are like out of work right now, who on the bench, haven't been out of work for about a year or two, something like that. So yeah.
They just found you guys?
Nah, it's a list. It's a list.
It's a list of people? And you're part of a union, though.
Yeah.
And do you know what you guys are, like, what this is?
Nah, I haven't.
You don't know what this event is, CPAC?
They just told me you want to make $60, so come on.
I get a phone call from a journalist by the name of Nina Eason, and she is outraged because in her neighborhood in Chevy Chase, Maryland, she sees a group of people in a residential...
Wall Street. So now, said all that to say this. The same liberal whites you have, and their point was about they were protesting against the 1%, correct? They said 1% of whites rule everything, so they want to change the system. Do you think they want to change the system and put blacks and Latinos in power? No, they have a new regime of whites they want to replace the current regime. That's it. So now, here we go. Give me the next article. Listen to Giuliani was one. They may have done it a little bit before, but I know under the Giuliani, when he was mayor, he and the police commissioner came up with these plans on how to deal with protests. Listen to what he says about Ferguson. And I always tell you, I told y'all this too.
I was opposed, by the way, to declaring a state of emergency. I thought it created a psychological atmosphere. What I would have done is I would have masked my police secretly. I would have had 3 times as many police as they had, but I've had it hidden all over the city. And the minute it started, they'd have been overwhelmed by police. And they'd have been arrested at the first moment they threw something, not after a half hour or an hour of having a cooling off period.
Would you have had your police use tear gas on the protesters?
I would have had them do anything necessary to stop them.
I told y'all about it. Now let's go to the next article. Y'all be thinking that people next to you is with y'all in these protests. You don't know who next to you. Go to now. This is the article Captain Joshua posted. Michael Brown shooting. Undercover cop draws gun on protesters in Oakland. Now you see the Jake holding them down, right? You see the Jake on top of one Jake. Y'all see the picture? And this is what Giuliani was talking about. They have cops, white, black, Latino, Asian, all throughout the protesters. You don't know who's who. That's why the Most High tells us don't get entangled with the affairs of this life. You don't know who's next to you. Many of these guys, they will incite things. They'll say, for example, let's say it's me, and Kanai's protest, and I'll say, hey, we need to get an effing bottle and throw that shit. And he goes, yeah. He picks up a bottle. The second he throws it, I'll arrest him. That's how it goes. That's what they do. You brothers and sisters got to be smarter than what you are. The dumb black woman who was on TV talking about, they just love us. Whites, and they feel. No, they don't feel you. They don't care about you. The same, now I'm going back to Occupy Wall Street. The same liberal whites who want to overthrow the system and change it are the same whites I'm talking about the non-law enforcement whites, those are the same ones throughout Ferguson, California, New York, protesting with all the signs. Give me some Ferguson with the white people so you can see. You don't know the cop from the liberal white. Stay away. That's all I can tell you. I can't say no more. You will be so full, oh, they love us. No, there's an ulterior motive. There's an ulterior motive. Look at this. Y'all see this? Many of these whites are the same whites that was during Occupy Wall Street. Liberal whites with trust funds who are hell-bent on overthrowing the current system. Give me Isaiah 32. Good.
You know, excuse me. It baffles my mind on how our people in this day and age can still be this doggone dumb. Don't they realize that if white people really join you in your efforts, it's a detriment to them? Maybe those statements don't even make sense to people. Don't they realize that, like I said many times, they are mere criminals by just being here on this land? They're not even supposed to be here. Their whole existence of any type of wealth is the direct result of the labor that was forced out of you. They don't understand that. That just went too heavy.
Let them chew the cud.
Y'all need to think about what I just said. Every last one of them, the newborn babies that just was born a second ago in the hospital, is a thief. Because y'all don't understand. Y'all really don't understand it. None of them are supposed to be on this land. Do y'all realize that? Your forefathers was brought over here in chains and ships. You was forced to work here and build this land up. You have more right to it than they do. They're not supposed to be on this land saying anything. If anything, they're supposed to be in jail. All of them. The newborn baby's supposed to go from between his mother's legs into jail. That's where he's supposed to be going. But y'all don't understand that. Because they did not work for this. So their protests, I'm getting to your point, their reason for protesting, stop this and stop that, they don't really want it really stopped, because if it really stopped, they would be where the black people are.
Right. Now, look up liberal, the word liberal, because the Bible uses the word. I want to look it up before we read the scripture. Here's what liberal means: favorable to progress or reform, as in political or religious affairs. So, right, I can use that one. They are favorable to the plight of blacks and Latinos. Let's see what else it says. Noting or pertaining to a political party. 3. Of pertaining to, based on, or advocating liberalism, especially the freedom of the individual and government guarantees of individual rights and liberties.
I can work with that one.
Okay, go ahead.
That's going exactly with what I said, because for someone to call themselves being true liberal, meaning to liberate the oppressed. If you liberate the oppressed, where in the hell are they going to get their wealth from? Y'all understand that? That's the whole point. That's the point. So this liberal mess is a bunch of BS.
Right. Look at number 5. Favoring or permitting freedom of action, especially with respect to matters of personal belief or expression. So liberals. Liberal whites feel for the plight of the oppressed. Now the liberal whites are those wealthy whites with trust funds. Look what Isaiah 32. Let's start at verse 7.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the churl.
No, actually, let's start up at 5. I like 5.
Isaiah 32 verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
Y'all see that? So God calls the liberals vile. Vile, meaning wicked as hell. These are the ones that Eric Gardner's daughter is talking about. They feel what we feel. They love us. All these nations, white people love us. No. Read it again, Isaac.
The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
Go ahead.
Nor the churl said to be bountiful.
The word churl means rude, okay? They are the bountiful ones. The liberal is the churl, is the bountiful ones with trust funds who are wealthy. They could do Occupy Wall Street weeks after week without going to work. Go ahead.
For the vile person will speak villainy.
See that? The vile person will speak villainy, meaning evil. Go ahead.
And his heart will work iniquity.
His mind will work iniquity. You think he and she is out there for your behalf. Let's change the system. Once the system is changed, what do you think they're going to do with the dumb black and Latino to their left and to their right? Knock them off. Chain them up, throw that nigga in jail now. We got a new regime starting. Yes, Captain Parham.
Going back to why the white people protest, they're upset because they were betrayed. They feel betrayed by the upper ones that are that 1%.
Yes.
With us.
Yep.
They feel betrayed because they say we should have the privilege you have, but we're going to the 99% for when we should be with the 1%. With
exactly.
You. That's really what it's about, but our people fall into that and go join them.
Right.
What the captain said, he's saying it right down the road, because if any of y'all paid attention to, y'all know what they call the Ku Klux Klan, right? They used to have talk shows where the group, excuse me, where the Klansmen would be on the television program saying that when the riots happened in Los Angeles, they were cheering for the rioters to go all the way to Washington to destroy the government. These are the Klanmen saying that they were behind black people tearing up stuff. Why? Because they found out that the elite whites didn't give a damn about them either.
Bishop,
exactly. Yes.
Can we finish that? What you was just reading? Finish what you had to say.
Well, history proved the American Revolution was about what? Edomites mad at other Edomites for being oppressed. It's the same thing. Same spirits were back the same exact thing.
And guess what? The black man is the first one to get shot in that war too. Stupid. Hell, you in the front line.
Go ahead, Cap.
Verse 6. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity. To practice hypocrisy.
To practice hypocrisy. So what the bishop was bringing out, it's all hypocrisy. Do you really think they're fighting for your cause? Do you understand fighting for change, what it really means? It means that we one day rule this earth. They're not going to fight for that. They're fighting hypocrisy, meaning they have an ulterior motive. Read on.
And to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry.
Who's the hungry? You know what it means to make empty the soul of the hungry? The mind of the hungry, make it empty, thinking that, wow, they are good white people. They're good Chinese people. Understand, the other nations are not made like that to be good. They can't be good if they wanted to be. It's in God didn't make them like that. But it makes the soul of the, and then you have these people like Al Sharp, these ones who go out there, and you see them, and Martin Luther King, who march hand in hand with them. For those that are unlearned and don't have the Spirit of God upon them, you would get confused by that. You will join yourself on with them. So let's finish this verse, and I want to go somewhere.
And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Now watch this. Go to Isaiah 13. Let's see what's going to happen with these that speak villainy, evil, that join themselves to us. I want you to read Isaiah 13. I want you to read verse 9. Then jump down to 13.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof.
So when judgment comes on this earth, the Lord is going to destroy the sinners out of the land. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people.
Do you understand what these white people are going to do when destruction comes? The ones you see out there marching out there with you, that's laying in the streets. What are they going to do? They're going to turn back to their own people. Read on.
And flee everyone into his own land.
And they're going to return to their own land, their own people. Now what's going to happen to the coon Negro that's following behind them? Read on.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
And you're going to find some Jake still chasing behind them saying, we want to be with you. Life is going to be okay. Let's go. There's good white people. The Lord said, I'm going to kill you too. I'm going to get rid of you. And we have that today. Like this young man's, the man who got choked out, his daughter. She's saying it's not a black and white issue. It's a national issue. The national issue is black and white, dummy. Read it.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
It says everybody that's joined unto your enemy, you're going to... You understand what the scripture's saying? You try to make league with them, you're going to fall by the sword with them. Now I want to say one thing again about this protesting thing. Notice one thing. And we don't advocate violence. We understand all power is through the keeping of God's commandments and the faith in Christ. But for the Jake that want to fight and that's out there ready to throw bottles or whatever they're doing, do you know one thing? White people ain't doing that.
Right.
They'll lay in the street. They'll march with you. But they ain't commit no crime with you. They're not like saying, listen to me. I got good credit. I'll go buy 1,000 guns. They're not doing that. They'll peacefully march, they'll walk around, they'll block the West Side Highway, then they're going to go to Dina DeLuca, get something to eat, and they're going home. They're not doing it with you. But Jake's mind is messed up.
Exactly.
We trust our enemies, and we have to break that cycle knowing that there's only one way out of this. Right. It's us changing collectively as a people, and to hell with everybody else.
Exactly. Now, there is on the news, there was a white guy that did punch a white cop. Did y'all see that? But let me tell you, the white guy punch a white cop and you punch a white cop. Right. There's going to be a major difference there when you go to jail. The white guy will be released within an hour. His mama will make a phone call. Lawyer will come down with his attaché case. And you'll still be there. 3 days later talking about what's going on with me. Nah, nigga. You punched one of us. That's what's going to happen.
I'm saying the black guy will probably be dead by now.
Yeah, he might be dead. Might be dead. Now, read verse 7.
Isaiah 32, verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil.
Whatever they use, God says it's evil. Go ahead.
He deviseth wicked devices.
Notice it says he devises wicked devices. This is the liberal whites. Go ahead.
To destroy the poor.
To destroy the poor, meaning Israel. Go ahead.
With lying words.
What kind of words?
Lying words.
So when they say, I feel for you blacks and Latinos, your pain is my pain. God says they are lying. That's what the Bible says. They are lying. Go ahead.
Even when the needy speaketh right.
Even when you speak right, they're still going to lie.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.